what's up guys, Bajheera here. So for this video, we're going to be checking out a game called Skyforge. Now Skyforge is a new, free-to-play, massively multiplayer online RPG that has a pretty neat combat style, and it's in open beta right now. And one of the cool things is, the guys from Skyforge were nice enough to hook us up with 10 Founders Packs to give away. So, these giveaways are going to look really similar to normal. Just be sure to hit this video with a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let you know what you think about the game, be sure to subscribe, and share it with your friends. I plan to give these keys out both on videos and on my live stream as well whenever we're playing Skyforge, so keep an eye out for that, and good luck. But, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay here, guys. What you're seeing is the first time I've ever played Skyforge, so I'm definitely not a Skyforge expert, but I did think that it would be fun to share some of my initial thoughts and impressions along with the sort of introduction gameplay with you guys in this video, because that sort of puts us on the same page, and if we're going to be playing more Skyforge in the future, it sort of sets the stage for our experience with Skyforge. So, what we're doing right now is sort of meeting some of the main characters that we're going to be interacting with throughout the course of our adventures, and if you'll take note about where we are, we're in kind of like a sci-fi city, but are talking to people who are dressed like Greek gods. So there's like a mix of like the tech, sci-fi side of things, and there's also like the sort of fantasy, like old god kind of things. And right now, we're sort of gonna get an intro to our character. And I like how they're sort of starting us off. They're not starting us off immediately by picking what our character looks like, by picking our class and all that. We're sort of going through what happened to this guy to bring him to where we are today, which is really, really neat. So it's going to say 3 days prior right here. So we're going to learn a little bit about the storyline. You know, he's a soldier, right? He's in his little battalion. They're getting ready to go into battle. And I think one of the cool things that happens here is that his little commander right there says, "Keep your eyes open. We are not immortal," which is pretty neat, because part of what my understanding about this game is, it's like, okay, so the character that we play, we are immortal. We are gods, basically, in this world. And part of our obligation as gods is to go out and protect the world. But this guy, the guy that we're playing, the guy that we're starting as, at this point, is not an immortal. He's just a soldier. He's just going out to this city to try to protect these guys. And just take a brief moment and check out these graphics. So, I have my graphics set on, like, high. It's suggested that I put them on maximum, but I just wanted to try it on high. And things look really, really nice. I think it's really, really cool that whenever you talk to NPCs, you actually kind of go into like a little conversation page like this, and it kind of brings you into the storyline. And it does seem like the story is going to be part of this game in a big way. It feels like all the characters that you talk to are pretty dynamic. It feels like they do have a personality. It feels like you are talking to, you know, somebody that is actually part of your story, which is cool. I'm doing a little bit of cinematic panning right here, looking at the character run. He's booking it too, but they got the sun shafts. The lighting looks really, really nice. The HUD so far is really, really simple. So keep in mind that this combat you're seeing right here is the absolute most basic stuff. And I have played this game obviously beyond this point, and once you do pick a class, it gets a little more complex. But we're not going to get to that part just yet. We're just going to go ahead and play this very beginning storyline part. It's just putting us on rails, basically. You're just a very, very simple, you know, it's simple attacks, but you can also see that it's not the sort of archetype MMO combat style where you have, you know, keybinds that you press on your keyboard for all your attacks. You're not tab targeting to people or anything like that. You're walking up to them and you're swinging on them with your left click, which is pretty cool. It makes you feel, at least it made me feel, very much a part of the game. You know, like every click that I'm doing is swinging. And we're going to talk about this later on, is that once you get more abilities, you can actually chain them together in unique combos that do different things depending on which abilities you press in what order. So we're just going to run over here. We're going to go kill this big boy. We took him out, me and another player right there. I'm jumping at him. Tell him good job. We take out the leader of these you know, rat-looking creatures that are attacking the city. We're gonna release all the rest of the guys who are hiding in this barn over here, and all seems well. You know, tell them they can come out. It's all good, guys. Once again, it's pretty neat to have these little cinematics right here. Things look really, really good. I like that it's all fairly seamless. You know, there's not a huge difference between what the models look like when you're playing versus what the models look like when there's a little bit of a cinematic. I think that's a cool thing. It really brings me into the story. But just when we thought all was well, this guy shows up with a gigantic number of these rat-looking creatures, and we are swiftly overwhelmed. However, these guys do put up a pretty cool fight. Look at these little combat cinematic styles, man. This is pretty beast. That guy gets eaten up. This dude stands right on top of him, stabs the other guy in the chest. with another little swing right there. So this is pretty cool stuff, and all of this is really not that far off what you would sort of see in the game normally. Obviously the slow-mo and stuff, but I like how they craft the cinematics with what you would see in the game normally, normal combat. That's really, really cool. And you do see some of these moves in normal combat. I don't know what to throw and whatnot, but the normal combat moves are pretty dynamic. They are pretty awesome to look at, but unfortunately, our poor hero does get chopped up, and they do gather up the bodies for who knows what, man. I don't know what these guys are gonna do with our fallen comrades and us, but we're gonna get taken probably to some sort of sewer where these verd rats live. Who knows? But right off the bat, some of the things that I really enjoyed about the game with my gameplay experience so far is obviously the combat style is different than what I would have normally expected from an MMO. The controls are pretty neat, they're pretty smooth. It's not really super complex. Even as you get more abilities, everything seems to flow pretty well, and I am excited to share with you more combat, more gameplay as we go. But I like the way they're doing this intro, sort of bringing you right into a storyline, making you care. So here's the thing. We were told our character's not immortal. You know, be careful out there, keep your head up. And we unfortunately got killed, but it looks like we're being granted a second chance by the gods. We rise up again to battle once more and claim our destiny as an immortal protector of Aileron, or whatever planet. I think our planet's called Aileron. Either way, protect our planet. But unfortunately, our comrades did not get granted the same fate, so we must rise up and do battle on their behalf. So once again, we find ourselves in this underground temple of some sort. Not a lot has changed in terms of our abilities, but everything still looks really pretty. You got the little particles in the sun, or in the light right there. You've got little dust falling off the sides of this place, so it adds a good amount of atmosphere. I'm trying to see if I can interact with anything, and not really. But when you do interact with things, it's mostly just by pressing spacebar. So you can jump around and press space, but I'm also right here. You can see me experimenting with my dash. Your dash has a couple charges, and then it also has a recharge. There's one of the things that you can loot right there. That's a little piece of loot. It gives me some credits right there, so that's nice. Got me some sweet cash money. I'm just having a look at my character. You can see I'm passively regenerating health there, and it's popping up in little green numbers. So as we go on, I mean, one of the big things with MMOs when you first start is that things can be a little overwhelming, and that is something that I'm gonna have to sort of take time to learn about the whole UI as I get more abilities, as there are more things popping off around my screen. But here we go. We got another nice little cinematic. Things are flowing pretty smoothly. Got some sweet moves, but looks like we might be getting overwhelmed here pretty soon. There's a little bit too many of them, and we're fighting valiantly, but they might get us after all. They do seem to be that kind of, rather than one really powerful guy, there's a swarm of a bunch of little cronies that will eventually maybe get you. They land a strong strike in my back, but it's time for me to activate my god powers. Light them up, baby. Boom! So that's kind of a way of introducing one of our new abilities. So a lot of our basic attacks were on the left click mouse button, but now that we've sort of been revealed that we have this nice AoE thing, probably on a little bit of a cooldown, that's on my right click now. So this is, once again, this is not class specific abilities, this little spin thing. However, that does sort of set the stage for how your abilities will work when you play any class. Now, we'll get to the class selection in another video, probably my next video about this. But right now, like I said, I'm just going to focus on this one guy. But it does seem pretty cool with the classing. We can sort of review it just a little bit. Why not? I'll give you a little sneak peek. Is that when you create a character, you have your one character, and you can swap between classes pretty freely. So it looks like you can level up as one thing, but then if you want to sort of level your character as a different class, you're definitely welcome to do so. And there are lots of classes to choose from. I'm going to give you guys one guess which class I chose. And we'll see if you're right in the next video. But I like how they started off this intro to the game. This is pretty neat. It sort of puts you in the perspective, lets you know how your character came to be who he is, teaches you a little bit about the basics behind controlling your character. You see, I'm using my dash ability to dash out of his little AoE. I'm not sure if I could be avoiding his when he throws out the little scythe thing, but I am trying to avoid his little grasping hands maneuver there. The Reaper of Death. And of course, whenever you get surrounded by these mobs, it pretty much showed you in the cinematic what to do. Use your little AoE thing, which is pretty neat. But so far, my experience with the Skyforge, even though they have been fairly limited, I've really only played through like a couple of their very beginning quests. But it does seem like a lot of fun. It does seem like something worth checking out. And it is in open beta right now, so it's not hard for you guys to check it out. I will put a link in the description if you guys do want to go ahead and get registered and get into the game. Definitely recommend that you do that. If you make an account, like I said, be sure to use that link in the description, and I will be able to give you guys the Founders Packs. I'm pretty sure you can activate the Founders Packs after you even get logged into the game. And the Founders Packs give you access to different classes. It gives you premium in the game, which means that you probably get a little bit more loot. You get a little bit more currency out of all that, and you get some mounts. So you get a lot of stuff out of these Founders Packs, and it's pretty cool of Skyforge to hook them up. But like I said, this whole little intro part is sort of letting you know who you are, letting you know where you came from, sort of getting you in touch with the basics behind your character. And like I hinted at just a second ago, now we get to go select and tell the game who we think we are, who we want to be. You know, this is the sort of character creation aspect of things, where you choose what your character looks like. You choose your initial class that you want to start leveling as, do the initial quests as, and it's pretty cool. But that is for another video. Hope you guys enjoyed this Skyforge video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment with any sort of questions or thoughts that you have about Skyforge. And be sure to subscribe to see more. Good luck on the giveaway, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!